Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of the Side Escape Gaming Podcast. My name is Jake, and joined as always for a third time
Three
is James
times.
St. Charles. Three times, the magic number.
Mhm.
Joined by me is James St. Charles, and today we're going to be talking about what we've been playing and the post video game awards world that we now live in 2019. So that's kind of where we're going.
Yeah,
So,
pretty good award show.
Pretty good
I
award
enjoyed
show,
it.
yeah. I think we'll kind of have a lot more to say on it in a little bit.
Oh, yeah.
Now, James, I think we should just dive into it because I just literally saved my game of Disco Elysium like 20 seconds ago before we started recording this. So, Disco Elysium, update us on it.
Yes.
I think that's kind of the big game of the week.
They took two awards or they took more.
They took four. So they
took 4 awards.
Disco Elysium took 4 awards at the Game
They
Awards.
swept it.
Yeah, best independent game.
So,
Every award they were nominated for.
You want me to update you on my game status?
Yeah, tell us.
I beat it.
You beat it.
Beat it. 25 hours.
25 hours.
I was telling you earlier in the week that it was getting a little fetch questy.
Yeah,
But I just think like the hype around because the hype around the first day is pretty good. Like there's just so much going on. You're learning all the mechanics, and then as you move on, it's like you kind of see where things are going. So I think there's like a little lull, but then the ending is good. Like things just fit in place, and then like the missing pieces. It's
yeah,
detective noir, so things just like fit in place, and you're like, oh, I see how this is going. So
So
I think
how many, without spoiling it, is it like a week gameplay wise or like day wise, I guess?
day wise, you could finish it, I think, in 4 days. Oh, actually, no.
Okay.
Well, I don't want to spoil anything, but maybe not equal 4 days.
Gotcha.
But
So
like in terms of like the actual day time, it's probably 4 days.
did you get the
like-
sense that you could have done more days?
Yes,
Okay.
I think I could have done as many days as I wanted to. Like if I wanted to explore every nook and cranny,
Yep.
all the side quests, I could have done more.
Gotcha. Find all the
But,
pieces of armor.
I was really just into the not to say the side quests weren't good, but I was just really into the main quests. I did some side quests, but main quest just gripped me.
Do all the side quests, because I just finished the first day and it's about 6-7 hours, I think it took me, about that.
First day I went, 6-7 hours.
So do all the side quests that I'm kind of grappling and getting in, do they all kind of add up to the larger story, or some of them just be personal to like for instance, the woman in the wheelchair just is like,
Yeah.
find my husband. Don't spoil obviously, but like,
Yeah.
is that just about her husband, or is that kind of part of the larger scheme of everything?
Without spoiling, I'll say that side quests can tie into the main quest.
That's okay. That's
That's what I'll say. Yeah.
Yeah.
Without spoiling anything.
First off, I'm infatuated with it.
Yeah.
What do you think after playing it?
I want to play it again, honestly.
Really?
Like it's really interesting because like you play one character.
Yep.
But I want to know, does your character have a memory loss and all that?
Yeah. Okay. So yeah, let's talk about that a little bit.
Okay.
So
Yeah. I don't know. Yes.
The game starts where basically, as I think we talked about last week, you're given like 3 options of basically you can be like a fighter, someone who's driven with intellect, or someone who's like really charismatic, right? Like a person.
Or I think you can do custom.
And you can do a custom.
I saw the option, yeah. So
yeah, which
I
I
don't know how that works.
would like to do. I think if I played it again.
I might do a custom.
I chose the like intellect-driven Sherlock Holmes-esque kind of guy, and you chose a brute force kind of guy, right?
Yep.
So I think the game starts the same way because you wake up and you have no memory of who you are, which I think is a very fun ploy. On like kind of video game tropes, right?
Yeah.
The comedy is really good for like who you are, and you're constantly talking to like your self-conscious and like your logic and like all of conversations with my perception, because like I'm very perceptive. It's like I'll make like a perception check basically on like tire tracks, and then like I'll have this internal monologue with like perception.
Do you like the internal monologuing?
I do.
That is the unique aspect of the game. I think I haven't really seen it that well done. Like
So,
your
like,
internal monologuing.
My guy is really smart, so like he'll hear a word and like know the definition, and he has like an encyclopedia thing, and it'll like give you like what this means for the world in the context. Did you have anything like that where like
No, my guy was dumb, and he'd be like, "No, this sounds good." He would like say like you'd have dumb word choices, like say the wrong thing or try and fight people. Like it was the best thing ever. Like you just go around either punching people or saying the wrong thing, and people be like, "What are you talking about?" So it was really funny. Everyone thinks he's dumb, like he's an idiot.
And that's the one thing I love the game, but I also like the one problem I have is my guy's supposed to be really smart, but you're also, I think your character is an idiot in general. Because like obviously,
so that's why I wanted to know. Because if I replay, if it's the exact same thing, then why would I replay? If you're given the exact same story and you have memory loss and all this stuff.
Well, I think it's how you tackle situations. So like I think
that's why I want to know. Like, are there branches? Does the same? We got to figure out when we both.
Yeah, and I don't know.
When you get your ending, I want to see if it's the same.
We could do a little.
There's only like one
cast,
ending.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah, because I think for me, what I'm curious. So, for instance, there is a man who's bald and he's standing on like the walkway gate of like the harbor that's shut down, right?
Yes.
Okay. So.
The big guy or the
guy? The big guy.
Yeah.
Did you walk up to him and just knock him out?
Yeah.
Okay, so I had to like go around and basically like learn about his racist views.
No, I did that too, but I knocked him out.
Okay, and then like I internalized them, and so like you'll get these little thought branches, and you can like put them onto your character and internalize them.
Mm-hmm.
And it takes time to like basically internalize these thoughts.
Yes.
And I had to do that with like racism, and then like I came back to him with like this witty response to his horrible racism, and he was like, I hate you, but I respect you. So he like opened up the gate, and I was like, all right, cool. Like the little partner was like, I don't know if I like how racist you are. Like, it's for a ploy. Like, don't worry. But it's pretty entertaining the way you can handle situations. I think is a very unique part of this game.
Yeah. Is your partner Kisaragi?
Yes.
Okay, so yeah, that's a lot.
I don't think they're going to be that varied.
Yeah, I was like, I can't imagine it, but it's just the variance is in the responses.
Yes.
It's right, but what you're saying, you can handle a situation different. Which that's why I want to know, like, how far does the story branch? Is it like Telltale Games branching style, or is it a little bit better? How does it?
I think
I want to see how they do it.
I used to talk about Telltale Games because I used to love them, and like, obviously every Telltale game has the same beginning and the same ending, but it's like how you get to that is kind of like the journey. Like you're crafting your own pathway through it to the end. And I'm sure Disco Elysium is pretty similar.
Yeah, I think it is. But it probably has more complexity. There's just a lot going on for it.
And I think the characters are really strong in it. Particularly enjoyed the kind of who I assume right now is the main bad guy who works at the harbor. He's a very great character, and like the interaction you have to have with him is very like
I like that guy.
It's very humorous. Like he makes you sit in this uncomfortable chair, and it takes 1 point away from your health.
I remember when you were telling me about it, and I was like, "Oh, I do remember that." Like, you do. I made all the wrong decisions, and I like had to like heal up.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, but should we talk about that? How that works?
Yeah. Go for it.
Yeah. Like so, there's in this like RPG type game, there's not really any action. Your action's kind of based on luck, which is like die roll. Mm-hmm. But if you lose, or if you miss roll, you low roll, you can get hurt. So you can lose health, you can die basically, or you can lose morality. So like with a lot of the dumb stuff, when you lose a roll on that, your morality you can die that way.
Yeah, so that's like go insane basically.
Yeah, and it's very unique because when you die, it has like a newspaper that says like cop did something, like got beat up or something.
Yeah, cop driven insane, and partner like forced to arrest him.
Yeah,
I've seen.
So there's like you want to keep that up. But I'll tell you this, after the first day, I never died ever again.
Really?
I just had so many items and so much health that I never lost.
Okay.
Like, there's just so much, yeah. Like, there's times when you can, like, take a lot of damage, but I ended up doing pretty good. Or just, what happens is you don't answer situations that you can't answer. Like, I know I'm not going to be able to get this. I don't have any of the int to do it.
Gotcha.
So that you're kind of blocked off from doing those decisions, which I think that's how I was playing my character. I was playing him as a low int, high brawler type situation, which that's why I want to see what your endings, see how different they are.
And when you say int, you mean intelligence, right?
I do mean that.
Okay,
I'm assuming people know the
I didn't know that, so that's how I was wondering.
You don't know that? Oh.
Like, are you talking about the ints like from Lord of the Rings?
Yeah, or like RPG, like
Gotcha.
Yeah,
okay,
exactly, or ATK for attack. Yeah.
So people are talking about this. Is this one of the best games of the year to you?
No.
Wow.
Yes, and I'll tell you why.
Okay.
But I was telling you this is that I told you this is not a game for everyone. Mm-hmm. It's a lot of reading. It's you have to really get immersed in it. And I think after playing 25 hours into it, I dedicated a lot of time. I try to give it my best effort. It's not the best game I've played this year.
Wow.
So out of the Game of the Year games, since I haven't played all of them.
Yeah.
And that wasn't even on the list for Game of the Year.
No.
It doesn't. I don't think it stacks up. But indie game of the year, definitely,
Okay.
100% indie game of the year. That's that's what it deserves.
Have you played like other RPGs this year?
Trying to think.
I mean, okay.
Yeah. We play
yeah.
Outer.
Oh, Outer Worlds, right?
Yeah. So
which one? And you beat both of them. Which one do you like?
But
better?
that's like a totally different.
Yeah, very.
It's when you're comparing RPGs. Yeah, it's
they're very
the
different
old
RPGs.
genre versus the new like type.
Right.
I prefer Outer Worlds.
Oh wow, okay.
I don't know why. I just like a little bit more action.
Gotcha. Okay.
The story's good. Story's good, but I do need both.
Yeah.
I had a good story and good action. So
right.
I think they could do a little bit more with Disco Elysium. They just they sweep. They got 4 awards.
Yeah.
They're on a roll. This studio can come out with another banger, improve some stuff.
It's the studio's first game ever, so
yeah. And what I was looking more is in this game is the art style, the pacing, music is good.
Yeah.
Voice acting is a little, it's gonna be as good as you can get for indie studio, but it's still well written. I'm so surprised how well written it is. I have never seen a game as well written as
it's very well written. It does do the one thing I don't like in video games. Speaking of voice acting, where like half of it is voice acted.
Yeah.
Like, sometimes they'll talk like the words that you're reading, and then like you just click on a response, and it's like you just started to read it, and like I get that you can't record every voice line, but like at what point do you decide that this is just not going to be talked about?
No, yeah, that is a big thing in Japanese RPG games. JRPGs have a lot, like they do have a little bit of voice acting, and then it's like, nope, just text for the rest, and that does kill it.
It's just weird. Like I just don't know what that. Is there more important lines?
That's a time and money thing. Like you can't shell out like Skyrim level voice acting all the time, and
hear the same guard say the 4th things in a row.
Yeah, they don't want to recite. I mean, you can. You just keep talking to this.
Oh no. Jeez. So okay. Well, have you been playing anything else this week other than Disco Elysium, or is that?
Well, I need to play Resident Evil 2. We were talking about. I'm gonna be playing. I got games lined up.
Okay, what are your games lined
up? But Resident Evil 2.
Yep.
Halo.
Oh yeah.
Gonna be playing that. I'm trying to think what else.
Are you gonna be playing Sekiro at all, or is that not your type of game?
Those games. I played a Dark Souls type game, and I get too angry.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's just you know it is. It's frustrating, but you're learning of fights, and
Yep.
Like I can get through it, but it's not a game for me. Like it's not worth the battle. Some people like crave that.
Both games you just mentioned, I've actually been playing.
Mm-hmm.
So I
played Resident Evil 2.
I played some Halo Master Chief collections yesterday.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
And I also have been playing Sekiro a little bit. But Halo Master Chief collection just came out on PC. The Halo Reach portion of it did. So it's just Halo Reach.
That's the most important portion though, because that you want to start with Reach. For anyone who doesn't know Halo Reach is the first. Halo
Reach, and this is a bold thing, is my least favorite Halo Bungie game.
Wow.
Besides ODST, because that's
okay. ODST, yeah.
Like
I'll say
it's
ODST.
like a side story kind of thing.
Exactly.
That would be an expansion pack now if it.
Yeah, that would be an expansion.
But it's my least favorite of the original Bungie games, so it's like okay, like this is fine.
I can see it. Of the original 4, I guess, like like 4 or
Halo
5,
1, 2,
not
3,
not like the Halo,
Yeah, Halo 4 and 5. I didn't even play 5.
Yeah.
But the multiplayer is fun. I love Halo. It's just fun to run in multiplayer and mess people up. I was first in my team in my first game back in a while.
Nice.
No big deal. Okay. Playing with a controller, no big deal.
What was your game growing up? Was it Halo 2 or Halo 3?
2? Halo 2 is one
Halo
of my favorite
2? Okay,
games
so
of all time.
you're an OG. Yeah. So you got good taste.
Yeah,
Reach is a little different. Like if I'm playing Reach, I'm like, there's stuff I like from 2 and 3 that
I don't like
is
the
not in Reach
system and
no, I don't like that. Does it have running? Or it has running, right?
No, sprint is one of the equipments.
Good. Hell yeah, that's what they did. Yeah, I remember they did equipment.
So it's real weird. But anyway, so just briefly, it's fun. It's Halo. It's great. Can't wait for more games to be added to that collection. And it's free on Game Pass, which is the best deal in gaming right now by far, and it's ridiculous.
Yeah, if you as a gamer in general, like not even a PC gamer, just don't have Game Pass, get it. It's so worth it with the collection. Yeah. I had Origin. I bought Origin Access. Absolute crap. They don't have anything, but they had Star Wars, so I played Star Wars for like $10. But Xbox, if you wanted to continue that, perfect.
Yeah,
you got Master Chief Collection, Rage 2. There's so many good games on there.
Outer Worlds and
Prey. Like it's a big collection. Then they're just gonna keep building and building.
Yep.
I don't think I've ran out of games to play. I still have a bunch to play.
I have so many. So I've been playing that, so it's fun. But then I've also started playing Sekiro. And so Sekiro Shadow Die
Is this
twice.
your first Dark Souls game or no?
No, I've played Bloodborne.
You played Bloodborne. Okay, good.
Yeah. So, but Sekiro, it's my first kind of. It's very different than Bloodborne.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think in Bloodborne you can block. Can you? I don't think you can.
You can parry, right? Oh no, can you?
No, you have the little gun.
Yeah, you have the gun. Like is like the gun's like a parry because once you get like the gun trigger, then you can do like that move and
yeah. So, but I played Bloodborne, but Sekiro, it's very good. It's a Dark Soulsy type game that kicks your ass and doesn't really tell you a lot of what you're doing. I've played about an hour and a half. I really like it, but it's also like I've played a lot of these games before, and they're starting to kind of run all together. Like it's like okay, like at this point I was playing it. I was like I could play Bloodborne, and that's more of like an interesting art style and stuff. But you have a grappling hook. And it's real cool, and you like can see little like ping marks on the map where you or like on the HUD. And you can like grapple to those and kind of sneak around people. So there's a little more stealth aspect to it, which is kind of cool.
Okay.
I'm very excited to play more, obviously, and obviously it won Game of the Year at the Game Awards, and we'll get to that later. But
yeah.
So I think
you think it deserved it?
I think that it's such a contentious year for Game of the Year because there isn't one standout.
Yeah.
That it got it because of like the votes being spread and it got the most votes, but probably not by a long margin. If that makes sense. Yeah.
No, yeah, I agree. There was no clear like game of the year.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I would agree with that. And I think that's
I'm happy From got it.
I'm excited to have our Game of the Year talk in a few weeks to kind of really see where we come down.
Our Game of the Year second.
Yeah, and if we can decide on one Game of the Year, because I think that would be fun for us to have like a game of the year.
Yeah.
So before we move on to Game of the Year and Game Awards, what you said you have Resident Evil you want to play, and is there another kind of game that came out this year that you want to get in before?
Borderlands came out this year, right?
Yep.
I need to get on Borderlands.
Are you interested in playing Bloodstained at all?
I played a little bit of it.
Okay.
The new one you're talking about, the one.
Yeah. The new.
I played the old version and the new one. I played a little bit of it. It's just like a worse Castlevania, honestly.
Yeah.
Like if you wanted to play, if you want to play Castlevania or like that type of game, you play Castlevania. It's a little bit better. This one's just a little bit clunkier. I don't know.
That's what I've heard.
It's a good attempt, yeah.
Yeah.
I like the first one they came out with. The first one was like more like OG style 16-bit graphic platformer with the old so
I remember that.
Not my I played a little bit of it, yeah. I'm trying to think of anything else.
I know, Resident Evil, Sekiro are like kind of my two big games, and I do want to finish Death Stranding before, but it's a lot of games on the plate right there.
There's just so much, not enough time, and honestly, maybe some of the games aren't worth playing.
Yeah, but
not say against it, but maybe.
Yeah, and I know like Resident Evil is gonna take it's like 8 hours for both stories, so it's like very doable there, and so we'll see. I'm very excited to finish Disco Elysium and have kind of a bigger talk on the
discussion of that. Yeah.
Maybe
maybe there's something. Yeah, maybe off.
Yeah. So, but let's move on to the big topic. I think that's kind of where we should get to. So, what I was going to do is kind of just go over the Game Awards and who won. We'll kind of go through that quickly, and then we'll talk about the announcements and kind of stuff that came from that. If you have anything to chime into, let me know. It's always so hard to read with the mic in front of me. All right. So, obviously, as we talked about, the fresh indie game presented by Subway, which is a first-time Game Studios game. Disco Elysium won for that. Which you've called. Good job. Yeah. So then Beat Saber won for best VR game, which I think was a very big
deal. Yeah, there wasn't much on that list, honestly.
Yeah.
So
best multiplayer game was Apex Legends. Best community support game was Destiny 2. Best sports and racing game, which we were both very surprised about, was Crash Team Racing.
Yeah, we were like, oh, FIFA always wins. Crash Team Racing, hey.
Crash Team Racing, that was pretty surprising. Best strategy game was Fire Emblem Three Houses.
Good.
Best family game was Luigi's Mansion, called by ya boy.
Yep, didn't call
No big deal. Best fighting game was Super Smash Bros. Ultimate. Best role-playing game was The Outer Worlds. No, it wasn't. That's what we highlighted. It was Disco Elysium.
Yeah. I was like, wait, no, that didn't win anything.
Right. Yeah, Outer Worlds didn't win anything.
Yeah.
Best action adventure game was, I believe it was Sekiro Shadows Die Twice. They didn't mention what it was.
Okay.
on stream. That's something I want to talk about after this, was how they presented awards.
Yeah. Let's talk about that.
Best action game, just action game, was Devil May Cry 5, which we were very shocked by. Best independent game was Disco Elysium. Best performance was Mads Mikkelsen for Death Stranding. Best audio design was Call of Duty Modern Warfare. Best score was Death Stranding. Mm-hmm. Best art direction was Control, which I was very happy to see that Control got.
Yeah, glad Control won something.
Best narrative was Disco Elysium. That's the 4 awards that won right there.
Okay, gotcha.
Best ongoing game was Fortnite, which I thought was pretty obvious. Yep. Best game direction was Death Stranding. And best game of the year was Sekiro, Shadows Die Twice, which was, as we kind of said, very surprising.
Yeah, I'd say it's surprising.
Yeah, so what did you think about the whole, like, I guess we can talk about awards individually or just the entire award show presented by Jeff Keighley and...
Yeah, so we watched it, and what we did like, I think, was I like when they bring developers, directors, and then they have a little mini interview, and then you get to know what game they're working on or their passion, and they're a little like quirky or awkward, but it's still good to see people excited for their games, and they can see how they are. And then something that we didn't like is that they have these awards that they don't mention. Like, they have them a list, and then they don't even talk about it. Or they'll do it right away. They'll do it, like, rapidly. Like, oh, here's the award, and the winner is boom.
They presented awards in, like, 3 different ways, which was really strange. So, obviously, the traditional, like, Oscars kind of thing where they walked out on stage and read it. Read
Celebrity comes out.
Celebrity came out. Yeah, Steph Curry came out to introduce an award, and that was super awkward. He made a weird joke about his injury. And then they presented an award, like, on stage. Then they presented an award with, like, Jeff Keighley just on the side, basically, like, reading, like, here were the nominees for Best Action Game. And then boom, boom, boom. There was Devil May Cry 5. And, like, nobody gets up on stage or anything.
Yeah, and then, this was a quick thing. It's like, yep, go, move.
But then they had, like, 4 awards that they just did off camera and never talked about. So
that's strange.
When Disco Elysium won Best, I want to say it was I want to just say Best Independent Game.
They came up twice.
Yeah, for the Fresh Award and for Best Independent Game.
Okay, yeah. But then, so they had
when they won their second award, whichever it was, they're like, in Disco Elysium, winner of 4 game awards. And we're like, what?
Oh, yeah.
And then...
I mean, is that a thing that they do for other awards? Like we're talking about Oscars or...
So the Oscars have, like, technical awards, and they'll do those at, like, a different show, but they're not part of, like, the original, like, nominees list of, like, the major show.
Okay.
So it was just kind of strange that they did it that way. And then, like, with Best, like, Performance, it was very obvious that Mads Mikkelsen did not want to go to the show because they did that, like, super quickly off screen.
Okay, so then what do you think? What if there's cases where, they know who's going to win, and then they have some plans for the award, but then it's like, okay, the person's not going to be here. We're just going to, like, mention it really quick, and the people that we know are going to be here.
Mads Mikkelsen couldn't be here tonight, accepting the award on his behalf is Hideo Kojima.
That could have been something.
It's just weird to have an award and then not present it, or like not even present it. That's the weird part. I'm okay with them doing, like, little side ones for, like,
but just mention it.
Yeah.
Yeah, don't just say, as they're getting another award, just be like, oh, they also won this. Like,
yeah, like we could have cut out one commercial that we saw 45 times and then.
Or one performance or something.
Yeah, right.
Okay, what about the performances? What do you think about that? You got Green Day.
So I liked the Church's Death Stranding one.
I like that.
I was like, that makes sense. It's part of the game.
Yep.
I think bringing stuff that isn't part of the game was very weird.
Yes.
So like Green Day came and did 2 songs. And it was
nothing like close to gaming.
I was like, well, it's cool. It's Green Day. Well, no, remember they were attached to Beat Saber.
Oh, yeah, we did.
That's like the announcement.
They had a Beat Saber. Okay.
It was just kind of odd. But they were announcing things throughout the show, games and various things. So we wrote down a list of kind of what they were. So I think we could go through each of them quickly and talk about them. There's obviously ones we'll have a lot more to say on than others, because there's probably some we're going to say,
Yeah.
So the first one they started off with was No More Heroes 3, coming in 2020. People love No More Heroes. I've never played one. Have you?
Neither have I. Okay. So
it's like a hack and slash Devil May Cry kind of deal. So it's
okay. I like hack and slash. Maybe it's good. Yeah.
I don't know. Coming 2020. That was their first announcement. Okay. So then they started off with kind of a banger, and they showed some Xbox games going by, and you're like, oh, it's just a regular commercial for Xbox, the brand. They announced the Xbox Series X, which is their new console, coming holiday 2020. What do you think?
I think it's a testament to the show when you have a major company like Microsoft announcing a console. I think we're talking about that. That's huge.
Yeah, that's huge.
They didn't show anything at E3, but maybe they didn't have time. But like to not do their own thing and just like show it at the Game Awards, that is a hats off to Jeff. Like to pull that,
get the name and the box,
and with the specs they've been talking about, this is a big thing. Like I'm not sure about the PS5. We'll see how that stacks up, but you have a lot of these next gen specs that not even the equipment we have, like the monitors or TVs, can support.
Right.
So
and that's
these
in the
are
box.
truly next gen systems. We'll see how it stacks up when it comes out. Like see if it actually does it. But I like the design. The design's very good.
I like it. It's like a tower with a little. And I love that just
True.
Microsoft's commitment to over-venting their system.
Yes.
Because of the 360 era, they're just like, we will give it all of the vents.
It's like a PC tower basically, but like
so
a mini
funny.
one.
Yeah. So
I
I'm
even think
really
there
intrigued.
is one. There's a PC that looks like it. It's called Main Gear as a company that makes custom PCs, and I think they have one that's similar to that design. Almost exactly the same, but not the same.
I am curious how much this console will be able to do as a PC. I think there's going to be. I think there might be some.
If they have, I mean, there's such a big push with PC with the Game Pass. Yeah. If it had that dual functionality, that's so worth it.
I'm curious.
But the cost wise, how are they going to get that cost? Because your cost is basically in your CPU and your GPU. Like if they can get that balanced and compete with the PS5, you're right. They can be climbing back. They had a really good E3.
Yeah.
I mean, PlayStation.
They got a lot of games.
And
speaking of Xbox games, they announced Senua's Saga, the second sequel to the Hellblade game, Senua's Sacrifice. They announced Hellblade 2, which is coming to Xbox Series X in 2020. The crazy thing about that is the first one, Senua's Sacrifice, was originally a PlayStation 4 exclusive.
What happened there? Are they poaching or?
Well, they bought this. They own.
They own the studio.
Xbox owns Ninja Theory now, where it was like a second party exclusive that eventually came to Xbox, but for like a year it was exclusive. And to announce that as like the first Series X game, really like with the title, it's pretty cool.
That's bold, but they gotta promote their studios, and
I think
that was a good thing.
Yep. Anything on Senua's Saga or kind of?
I haven't played the first one. I've seen a little bit of it. It's real the first game, right? The first Hellblade. It's pretty trippy.
Yeah, that's what I've heard.
But we'll see how this next game is. People loved it though.
I'm a real big scaredy cat. I don't think I can handle it.
Yeah, it's that scary.
So then what I love too about the announcements, right? So you get the first Xbox Series X game, and then the next game they show is the first PS5 game. Did you notice that?
I mean, yeah, because Jeff's not just playing to one side. That'd be like, what the heck
I just love it. So we got Godfall, which looks like they described it. Here's what they said. I wrote it down.
Yeah, let me see.
They described it as a looter slasher, solo co-op. Everyone has fun.
Like a Diablo like looter slasher, or like a.
That's what it sounds like.
It looked amazing. Like Godfall is a good name. It's like
it looked very like
God of War, take God of
with swords and
God of War, Titanfall, and combine two. I don't know.
Together. It's developed by Counterplay, who I've never really heard of, but it's published by Gearbox.
Okay.
So,
Gearbox.
They know what they're doing with looters and stuff. So I'm wondering how Borderlands E will be, not comedy wise, but like how you do the loot system and everything.
They have a great loot system, so I'm sure it's gonna be fun. But I'm more interested in the combat. It looked really like intense.
Yeah, it was, and most of this there was no gameplay. It was all
PS5 only, right? Is that what we're saying?
Yep,
that's it.
It said PS5. Okay. So, and the whole trailer was run in engine, so that was pretty cool.
Yeah,
I'm just curious if that game is a Destiny style kind of game, or if it is a Borderlands style Diablo kind of go out and on your own kind of.
I don't know if it is like. I would prefer it Borderlands style to Destiny style, but yeah, I'm definitely curious. We'll see more about it. We just got the announcement, but yes.
And I think we have next week we don't really have a lot to say on it. So, they announced Bravely Default 2, Square Enix. The best part about this game is that it's the third Bravely Default game.
You were talking about this. I remember.
I was like,
that was already in the,
I was like, didn't they make a sequel to Bravely Default? And I was like, oh yeah, they did. This is just Bravely Default 2. So whatever. I don't really play JRPGs. So, then they announced Prologue by PlayerUnknown. So is this the prologue to PUBG?
That was an awful announcement. Like
It was a weird
nothing.
trailer.
Yeah, it was just forest, and that's it. You know,
It
it's
looked
just
very
like it was like the Sekiro that announcement, where it's just like a little thing, but that was a little bit more like I don't know.
Same thing though. I was like, okay, what am I looking at?
I don't know, but with my announcements, I want like substance to it. It's not like just name.
A teaser trailer is not cool if you don't know what the product is.
Exactly.
You know? Like if it's a teaser to the next God of War, that's cool. It's a teaser to like Godfall. It's like I don't know what that is. So don't like tease
it's a mobile game. It's just like you don't know like what's the substance behind.
So then they announced that in Fortnite they were going to be premiering a Rise of Skywalker clip.
Yes.
Which happened today, and they all gathered around the screen next to the Millennium Falcon and watched the clip in the game, which I thought was pretty cool. And then they announced
I watched a little bit. Stuff. That kind of stuff is awesome.
I think it's very cool.
Even though it was like people were like, "Oh, the clip was already on YouTube," it's like just that ability, to, like be in Fortnite and watch like movie quality on a big screen. Like, that's a cool thing.
It's a cool gimmick, and I really like that kind of stuff. I think
but
cool.
It's good for branding. Like that it's so many companies we see that. Like, I want my brand in Fortnite, and that's what they were looking for. They want IP in Fortnite.
Yeah, which is cool,
and they're getting it. Yep.
Next was Sons of the Forest. Looked like a real spooky game. Well, that's all I wrote next to it because it looked real spooky.
Yep.
And that's a sequel to The Forest, which I've never played. And
see, The Forest isn't really scary. It's a survival game, but there is like scary aspects.
See,
to
it looked real spooky.
Yeah.
Like, wolves are pretty spooky. If a wolf's hunting me in a forest, I'm scared.
Yeah.
So I'm not gonna play that game. But more power to Sons of the Forest. Look real spooky. Then you got The Ruined King, which is by Flagship, and this is the first League of Legends story. It's a Riot Forge game. It's a story-driven, turn-based action RPG. So, this is the one that didn't grab. The one later on, I was like, "This looks like a J-Cast game," and then it's
like later on they announced another one, and they're doing games off of League of Legends characters.
So I don't know who this was of. It was some fish man, I think.
This was it Thresh?
Sure.
I remember Thresh the trailer. I can't remember if it was about Thresh or if it was.
I think this was about him.
Oh yeah, because there was one about Echo. That's the one that's later on.
That's the one that looked real cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's cool. So there's some good story. Like League of Legends has a lot of lore, and they're probably now trying to tackle it. Riot Games is trying to be a game studio, not just like one game. They're starting to have multiple. This is I think 4 or 5 games now that they're working on. They got a Overwatch or like a Counter-Strike S game.
Mm-hmm.
They have let's see what else. They have the Dota chess type game that they have out. That's out right now. And then they're working on a fighting game.
Huh? So and then they're publishing all these story
all of
games.
This is League of Legends though. It's just League of Legends, and then it's just like here's a League of Legends mobile. It's like a type of game.
Yeah,
they just go into a genre.
I think that's
take their
cool.
IP and genre it.
I'm not a League of Legends fan, but I think like if they did this with Overwatch characters and they're like, this is the Tracer game.
I was gonna ask you about that. I was like, what do you think Overwatch doing that? Like, that would be really sick. If they did that with Heroes of the Storm though. You kind of like they took characters from their IP and just put it in a like MOBA.
I think it's a really cool idea. I hope it pays off. The only thing is you're kind of with these kind of games, you're really pigeonholing people, being like, you got to know these characters to really like this game.
Stick to our company. Yeah, it's like stick to our company game. Don't do anything. Yeah, that does constrain the company to your IP.
My reaction to that the Echo game that you said later on was like, this looks really cool, and it was like, it's a League of Legends story, and I was like,
Ugh.
And not like, oh, League of Legends. More like, well, I'm not gonna get this, so it's not. I'm probably not gonna. I'm not gonna understand.
You
what's
have no
happening.
attachment to it. Yeah. So it was just like some new thing. You'd be like, okay, no one knows this. So
yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. No, I agree.
And then the next game, we got the second worst trailer of this entire Game Awards.
The second. I love how I remember like worst trailers.
I already know the worst.
No, wait. Well,
you know what this one is?
Is this the second? Is the third worst the player unknown one? I guess.
Yeah, that one just didn't do anything.
Okay.
This is the Dungeons and Dragons Dark Alliance
game. Oh, that was awful. That was so.
If you have time, take a look at this trailer.
Yeah.
It's the worst camera work I've ever seen in a trailer. So like, I was getting sick watching it.
Yeah, I was getting sick too. Yeah, I was just like, I couldn't watch it.
There's a part where the camera's like on a sword that he's like spinning, and the camera is just spinning.
You know,
for a while.
You know, like guitars, they sometimes like have cameras that like look down. That was that camera. It was just the trailer was that camera, but it was like on swords and stuff. And like, It's like, why? And you saw nothing really. Like, because of that, you saw absolutely nothing. Just pieces of fights.
And so it's by
you knew
Torque
nothing
Games?
about it. Yeah.
And I have no idea what the game is because they didn't really say.
Absolutely nothing. It was a nothing trailer.
It looked like a third-person action game, but that's just me guessing, but I doubt it. Who knows?
You know when you're like learning something and you have like, it's like, oh, I can do this one thing really well. And that's what it looked like that trailer was like, oh, I can do this one camera thing really well. And you made a trailer about it. No.
Really hurt.
Yeah.
Okay, then the next thing was the Apex Legends holiday or hologram day bash, which whatever.
Yes.
That's all I got to say on that. Okay.
Yeah, whatever. But didn't you say that there was like one interesting thing that they did it live?
How they did the trailer was what they were saying was it was like a live. They basically filmed the guy voicing the character live and all of his motions. He was like on a soundstage, like mocapped, and he was actually
live
talking
mocapping.
to Jeff. Yeah, live mocap talking to Jeff Keighley as the character.
That's insane. That's
really cool.
That's a really cool thing. If we can have live mocapping stuff.
I think that's really cool.
Cool tech.
So really cool effect. I'm
but yeah, so on the
yeah, you can wear a Santa suit and stuff like that. It's in all the games now. Okay, the next game was really cool. Weird West by Wolfeye Studios. This is the past Arcane creative developers, creative directors that left Arcane Studios, Bethesda Studio. Weird West. What did you think? I didn't really see the gameplay.
Totally. From what we saw though, it was just totally different from what they worked on.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm definitely curious. Like I think everyone was just like, oh, they're gonna do something pretty cool, and I don't know. I looked at it and it was just like, eh.
Yeah, it wasn't what I expected, but I'm interested in it. I definitely was like thinking they were gonna make some stuff
from the history of the past members. Yeah, not what I expected, but we'll see.
We'll see. I think it could be really, really cool. Yeah. Next, Magic Legends, the MMORPG for Magic the Gathering.
Magic the Gathering came out strong. Like Wizards of the Coast just wants some games. I don't know.
Every freaking commercial break was a Magic the Gathering commercial.
Yeah, they are. I don't know if they just pushing up, and it's the same with the actual card game. Like they're pushing out these like different deals and packs and expansions.
Yeah.
I don't know if something's happening, but they're really driving their product brand everywhere.
Yeah,
so
I don't
this
know.
one we'll see. If it's a great game, awesome. Magic is amazing. I like Magic. We like Magic a little bit, but for them to be like branching out this much, and if they throw out like some some crap, then I'm not gonna play it.
Yeah.
But you're right. They were all over the Game Awards.
I mean, so you're a big Magic the Gathering card game fan. Yes. Does this MMO do anything for you or no?
If it's good.
Okay.
I mean, I like MMOs and I like Magic, so if it's good. But it like with all MMOs, they can get boring and grindy.
Right.
So we'll see how this looks.
Okay.
But it was interesting. I was just like, I wasn't expecting it.
It was very unexpected. I would
agree. They have only made card game card game type games. Yeah.
The next one was Ghost of Tsushima. We got the extended look from the teaser. It's coming in summer 2020. It was a good trailer. Didn't really show us much.
Not as good as the first one though.
No, first one was great.
First one was amazing.
I'm very like obviously I think this game is just like Assassin's Creed but samurais is kind of what I think the game is. But it's kind of weird that we haven't seen much of what the game is.
We've seen just little
snippets, but like you don't see it's just kind of odd.
Yeah, I mean it's Death Stranding is like the same thing when they had the trailers. You had no idea what was going on. But this one it's still you kind of know a little bit, but
you have the selling point of Kojima, and people are going to buy a Kojima game. Anyways.
Yeah, this game is like nope. I don't really have much, but
so I'm obviously I'll get it because I love Sony exclusives. And Sucker Punch is great. Infamous is a great studio or a great game, but. And then you had 9 to 5 by Red Hill Games. This is that very generic looking military shooter that had like that weird teddy bear thing in the beginning.
Yeah.
Yeah. He called it a strategic tactic shooter, the developer. So it sounds like Rainbow Six-y kind of. Okay.
Yeah. Okay. That's it. Yeah.
I wrote Black Desert Mobile tonight. I don't know what Black Desert Mobile is. Oh, it's the RPG. Yep.
Yeah. It's a Korean MMO RPG. And it's very much so we had a friend who's actually pretty good at it. Colin actually was pretty good. But there's like little jobs and things you can monopolize, which was really stupid about the game.
Okay.
So like it's like fishing, like you can be like doing all the stuff grinding to get like the best fishing boat so you can fish and get all this other area, and then you control like the fishing market or something like that. So he would do that, like
Weird.
take one aspect, max the stats for that, and then grind it, and then it'd be like a fishing guild or something. But it was very much a grind to like get this area, get this type of stats, get this product, get this equipment.
Gotcha.
But the combat, if you look at some of the battles, it's just crazy. Like you'll be like fighting some guy across the map. Like that's you have so much like movement speed in battles, very different, but it's unique. So for it to be mobile, the only thing I can see doing mobile is just fishing. Like that's what
they did show that in the trailer.
Most people just fish.
Yeah,
you'll see a Black Desert. It's just like you just fish. That you just fish to get and sell. So
but it premiered the night of Game Awards, which is always pretty cool.
Yeah, but it was nice to see them there. Like that's a unique thing. There has been MMORPG apps, I think, but this one is like that's a big name.
Yeah, it's a big name. So that's cool. And then you had Green Day come out, perform their concert, and then very briefly, Beat Saber, Green Day songs in Beat Saber. So there you go. Then New World by Amazon Games. So it was just kind of cool to see an Amazon Games come up.
So is this the first game for the studio or like Amazon game?
I believe that it's the first game we've.
Is it a studio? What?
Amazon has like their own game studios, and so I think they're just
Amazon
under
Games.
I think they're under like an umbrella of Amazon Games. This is one where I'll be honest, I forgot what it was. But I mainly thought it was cool because
they had the
Amazon
trailers
Games.
with like the Spaniards and those
that's
demons.
right. Yeah,
that's
what this was. Okay.
And then,
it was like some crystal they were all going after.
I know it because they keep showing it over and over again on Twitch because that's Amazon. So they're trying to promote that game. It looks cool, but nothing. What is it? I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, so Amazon, it's just kind of cool to see Amazon still pursuing using their game studios and kind of things because they kind of went dormant for a while. Convergence, this was the game that we were talking about with the character Echo from League of Legends. We kind of talked a lot about it. By Riot Forge, it's another Riot Forge game. They did not give a date.
So it's Riot with another studio, right? It's like a collaboration.
Yeah, so I think it's called a Riot Forge. Riot, I think, is just publishing it and probably like overseeing the project where it's being developed by another studio.
Gotcha. That's what I wanted to clear up. If Riot is doing this internal or if they're just giving you their IP.
Yes, they called it a Riot. So they basically, the developer kept saying it's a Riot Forge game. So it sounds like Riot's working with them, obviously, like forging the game. But I believe it's not developed internally. Then we had a very surprising announcement. The Wolf Among Us 2 is coming back.
That was awesome.
Telltale game.
That was out of nowhere. Like no one knew this. Like what? Like there's no way. Are they? So like they basically. Here you explain it. Like what happened?
Basically, obviously, Telltale Games went bankrupt, and they fired all their employees like without notice, and
it was awful.
It was really terrible.
Yeah.
Fuck them. Yeah. It's horrible what they did. But that might be the first time I ever swore on the show. But what I was reading about it, it's really cool. So they even said a Telltale Games series on like the title card for this new announcement.
Yes.
This company, and I wish I had the name. The people that bought all of the Telltale Games rights, they have rehired a bunch of Telltale devs. And basically, like, you were working on this project originally, take your time with it and work on it. So the people that are working on this game were working on it originally at Telltale. So like, which I think is very cool. It's obviously they're not just taking the product. It's
absolutely
awesome.
Amazing. Yeah. It was honestly the right move. It's like you're righting a wrong that was done by a poorly mismanaged studio where they took on too many projects and they didn't realize like they couldn't get a lot of it done.
Yeah.
If they took their time with the games that are coming out, the studio could have made so much money.
Well,
but they just grabbed all this IP and like, why? You didn't need to. You're pumping out good games.
There was no date on the trailer at all, which was awesome, which is really cool.
Yes.
I really hope they're revamping and making an engine or using Unreal or something instead of that horrible Telltale engine. And they're really able to like construct something and hopefully maybe not even do the episodic release, like release it as one big product. I think is kind of a great way to go about it.
Interesting. Yeah, we'll see if they want to continue that way. But this is gonna get so much hype.
I'm so excited.
So,
have you played The Wolf Among Us 1?
Yes, it's great.
Okay, it's free on Epic Games right now. It's really good.
That is if you never played a Telltale game, it's one of the best ones.
Yeah,
that is a good start. Besides the Walking Dead ones, the Walking Dead ones are amazing as well.
And so is Tales from the Borderlands.
Oh yeah, Tales of the Borderlands. I love that one too.
Borderlands are real good. Yeah. They're really hard to get right now, so I think if you can find Wolf Among Us, it's really great. I love it. I'm so excited there's a sequel. And then we had the weird announcement where Michelle Rodriguez from the Fast and the Furious franchise came out and it was very uncomfortable.
Yeah, I don't. This
And
was
then
so
they
weird.
announced Fast and the Furious Crossroads. Now I'm a big Fast and the Furious fan,
Yeah.
and they announced this game, and it looks like it's an Xbox 360 game.
Yeah, it's Xbox 360, like the first, like exclusive. And
It-
you know what? I feel like I've played this game before on Xbox 360, like a type of game. Like I'm
Yes.
trying to remember it, but it was so familiar to me with Vin Diesel. There is a game like that, right?
I'm sure
That has Vin Diesel in it.
The whole
I gotta look
time
it
this game,
I gotta look it up.
The whole time this trailer was playing, I was waiting for it to like blow up and then the real game be shown. Or then Vin Diesel came out on stage, was like, "All right, now we're gonna show the real trailer because there's no way that's the real trailer." How does the game look that bad?
Is this a game that was just been working on for years, and they're just like, oh hey, we have a video game. Let's
It's developed
come
by
out
the,
with it.
by the
Oh, you're right.
The Project Cars guys. That's who's developing it. People that did Project Cars.
You're right. So why was it so bad? Wheelman. That's the game. Wheelman.
Is Vin Diesel in it?
Yes, he's in it.
That's awesome.
That's the game.
I bet if you compared those two side by
and
side,
it probably looks the
they
same.
look exactly
Yeah,
the same,
I
I'm
swear
sure.
it looks the same. Yeah, because it has this exact model.
oh my god, it's
We'll look
really,
it up.
It's really
I'll show you after, but it is.
Yeah. I'll look
Because
it
we
up.
were watching, I was like, but it was so weird when they were like announcing it, because it was like, oh, we got special guests, and it's like, oh, Vin Diesel, and then they kind of were like trying to say like, hey, we've played games. I've played Tekken. Like, it's like, oh no, like, can you get someone who actually knows games announcing these? Like,
Vin Diesel was fucking yoked.
He
was
buff,
jacked.
Yeah,
That was awesome to see.
he's huge.
Yeah. And it's coming out May 2020. It's like, this is a trailer for a game that's coming out the same month of The Last of Us Part 2.
This game is gonna flop.
Oh, I'm getting it.
No, if it's on Game Pass, I'll play.
I'm getting this game in a heartbeat.
I don't know. Yeah,
it ain't about the driving, James.
Awful. Yeah,
about family.
They probably looked at it and be like, "Oh, that's amazing." They don't even know what like current gen, or they're looking at the other trailers and like, "Oh shit, we're announcing this for Game of the Year."
Yeah. It blows my mind. So the only thing that I think is a little odd about all the announcements was you start so strong with like the next Xbox, like this is the next gen, and you end on Fast and the Furious.
Yeah, that was it. That could have been in the middle somewhere, but I don't. This is where I don't get. Jeff should honestly announce the Game of the Year. Like he should come. You know, he's like always in the background. Like, oh hey, we got these people. He's directing that way. He's off to the side.
Right.
But as like he's the name for the Game Awards, he should be out there like, hey, shaking someone's hand. This is the Game of the Year. Make it a bigger deal.
Mm-hmm.
Like have a big team around it instead of getting these guys who barely know gaming. Like nothing against Vin Diesel, but I'm assuming they don't know current gaming. Why not have the guy that did most of the intros? He's pioneered gaming.
Yeah. I agree with
game
that.
scene.
I just felt like it was a little
I feel like
odd.
that'd be cool.
I was honestly like I was expecting like Breath of the Wild 2 again to show up or like something like that big at the end of the show. Yeah. And it was weird to get Fast and the Furious Crossroads that looked like what it looked like, and
we didn't get much from Nintendo, honestly.
We didn't get we got one Nintendo announcement.
Yeah.
Which was No More Heroes 3.
There were some crazy Nintendo trailers, I think, but
yeah, remember the Nintendo Switch has games. That trailer kept
Yes, yeah, that one kept popping up. That was it.
My God.
But nothing about like Smash or whether or not a new character like
no new character for Smash was super surprising.
I mean, they have Nintendo Direct, so maybe they're going to use that.
But they announced the first DLC character last year, Game Awards.
Ooh.
That's why I kept saying, "Oh, we got to get a Smash Bros. Character."
Gotcha, yeah.
Yeah. So I don't know. It was very odd to kind of end the whole show on that announcement. So I don't know.
Yeah.
Obviously, I love it. I love that there's these awards for gaming and.
Yeah. Overall, this is a great mid-year type event for gaming. Because mainly there's two events: it's E3 and the Game Awards, kind of.
Yeah.
There's some of the, I guess there's gonna be like a PlayStation conference, and there's some of the Xbox conference stuff that's sprinkled around. But for like full on all games and game companies, and you're seeing all this stuff, this is that event and E3.
Right.
So I think, honestly, I wish there was more focus on a lot of developers' announcement, because everything's a little sprinkled, and you're doing awards. But yeah, I mean, I'm not a big fan of the performances though. Like,
they can definitely bring them back.
Green Day, one performance at the end, like Green Day at the end, perfect. Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah, to close out the show. Yep.
Yeah.
Good. But when you have them like taking up 10 minutes, 15 minutes, and that could be like another game announcement, another award, yeah. You don't see like Oscars like sprinkling in like a lot of these. Maybe you do, but
they do, but they do like every song that's nominated for like best original song performs.
Yeah. Okay.
And so it's like, do the songs that are pertaining to the games nominated or like to the scores nominated? Like they did that really cool score for all the big game of the years.
Yes,
like,
that was awesome.
That was awesome.
That's a great thing. Yeah. Yeah, promoting the orchestra and how instrumental it is to games. Yes.
Also, before we go, how cool is it when Sekiro's trailer, the screen went up and then there was the orchestra playing the music and then there's still a screen behind them playing the trailer? That's awesome. The coolest thing in the world.
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah.
PlayStation did that a lot too with their events. Like they would have like the orchestra and then like go. That was I like that.
Was really awesome.
Stuff. Yeah.
Now I'm just hyped for E3.
Yeah. Now we're talking about like E3 this year.
God. Yeah. There's so many games in between now and E3 though to play. Oh
man, 2020.
2020's gonna be crazy. Can't wait to talk about that.
Yep.
Well, that was the Game Awards 2019. That was that, and I think we'll kind of wrap up right there. So thank you everybody for listening to another episode of the Side Escape Gaming Podcast. Of course, this is James. My name is Jake, and we'll be posting these every Monday. So thank you for listening.
Thank you.